How are we? Are we all good? Nice to see you. See the chat's already chatting, which is delightful. Who have we got in? We've got, hello Danny Sprinkles, how are you? And we've got Thea here to mod for us today. As usual, she is our constant, she is our rock. And Black Rose I've already said hello to. Hello April, how are you? And we've got Daria as well. Hi Daria, how are you doing? I'm just going to switch my windows over so that I can see the chat and I'm not having to crane round all the time. There we go, that's a bit better. Hello Michelle, how are you? Yeah, Michelle, I'm fine, thank you. Presents wrapped. No, don't be silly. It's too early for that. Just as usual, I would like you to let me know if the sound and the light's okay. I am freshly washed out of the shower, and I know you can't smell me, but I smell divine. I thought I would at least clean myself before for coming on. So we're very au natural tonight. You know, it's nearly 5 o'clock, Sunday night. I'm in some comfy gear and just want to kind of chill out. Mr. Jim is away. He is away shooting this weekend. So I'm planning on having a fairly kind of like chilled out evening. Looking forward to having the break over Christmas. Yeah, well, I think quite a lot of people would probably agree with that. Thea says Jem can't get rid of me. Yeah, she's always here. So I take it most of you celebrate Christmas. Has anybody got stuff done? Is everybody organised? We picked up our tree today. It was a cut it down yourself job, so Mr. Jem obliged with that. And it is erect and it is in my living room. It has no decorations on it yet. But again, my plans basically for the next few days while Mr. Jem is away is to wrap some Christmas presents, mostly his presents, and to get my tree looking lovely. So yeah. Hi Mary, nice to see you. So we're going to do a bit of adult colouring for the next couple of hours. I do have a choice of books for you, and I think I kind of already know the answer to this. Um, you missed me just saying, Mary, I'm fresh out the shower, so we're very au natural this evening. This is what freshly washed Jem here looks like with my very waviness. I'll probably end up tying it up in a little while because it tends to annoy me. Hi Jan, how you doing? Michelle's off to London. Oh, nice. Like it, like it. Yeah, so I've got two choices for colouring this evening. I think I already know the answer, but I'm gonna let you decide. I'm gonna move this camera a bit. It seems to be really high up for some reason. I'll put you down a bit. That's better. Yeah, I felt as if I was kind of like, like a toddler at a table. Right. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to this view. I have hands. So the reason for my choices here as well, Julia of Julia K Art Studios sent me a little package recently, and in that package she sent me this. I do not own a farmy colouring book. Like, it's just something I don't have, and I got pretty excited about this, to be honest. And the scenes are just, they're so lovely. Like we've got some moo chows, and yeah, so yeah, I really, really like this. But one of the things I noticed about this book, this is a Creative Haven book, is that the line work is really, really thick. And it's something that I won't say I don't like about it, but it just doesn't really fit in with my colouring style. So what I've done in here is I've picked out a page that I fancied, and I've put a layer of watercolour ground over it, and I've given it a very, very gentle sand. I didn't want to get rid of the line work completely, obviously, because then it wouldn't be a colouring page, but I thought that would be quite a nice thing to try out as well. So that's the first option, and we've got this lovely little potting shed scene, and we've got a wee chook here in the middle, and there's a nice wee view out to the farmyard there. If that's not tickling your fancy, excuse me, and all of you are ready to jingle your bells. The other book that came from Julia was this one, and of course it is Hannah Carlson's Oh God Jul, so Merry Christmas in Swedish. And I mean, this is just beautiful, but the page that I kind of wanted to have a go at was this one here, and maybe get some sweet treats coloured in. Jan's fancy is tickled. Oh. Hi Yvonne, thanks for coming, even if it is just for a wee while to drop in. So those are your two choices this evening. Whatever I make a start on, we'll probably not, well, we definitely won't finish this evening. But as per usual, I will probably finish it off either in the Wednesday live stream, we're still having WIP Wednesday, or I will finish it off in private, and then obviously post the results for you, usually on Instagram. So let's just get a wee quick poll up and we'll get this done. Which book? I'll just put farm or Christmas. And off we go. Vote away, chat. Do what you want to do your thing. Everyone seems really excited about Christmas. Okay, yeah, this is really not that surprising. So Miri's going for the seasonal thing. Well, my kind of thinking was obviously the rest of the content from now until the end of the year is probably going to be festive. So I just thought I would give a non-festive option because I don't want y'all Christmasing yourself out before we get there. I mean, after all, it's only the 8th. Okay, 69%. Okay. Okay. I think we have our answer. Right, okay. Point taken, point taken. Our pencil choice for this evening, I feel as if like, I haven't used them for ages, but I've got my good old Polychromos out, and I feel like these have been a wee bit left behind for this last wee while. Miri's going to get very jolly and festive throughout December. Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw the Facebook post earlier, but Julia left a really cheeky comment underneath, and she can't cope with the fact that these pencils are next to the green ones. This is not reds, this is, there's one missing, I don't know where that pencil is, I do not know where it is. This is the earth tones next to the greens, it's not reds. The reds are obviously at the start, next to the oranges and the pinks. I'm just curious if anybody else has this same layout. This is loosely the manufacturer sequence that they came in. I've probably shifted a few of them about. I've got quite a few pencils missing actually now that I see it. There's one missing. I wonder where these pencils are. This might cause me problems. I might have to have a wee dig about for them. That's how long it's been since I've used them though. Let me just have a little look here. Oh, hang on a minute. I think I know where they are. I think I know where they are. Got stuff tucked in everywhere. So much going on. Oh no, they're not in there. Okay, I'm actually missing some pencils and I don't know where they are. That could be a disaster. I'm sure we can work around it. We've got plenty of pencils to work with. Right, okay, let's end this poll then. Christmas it is. Mary kept hers in the order the Polly's came in as well. Yeah, It doesn't make much sense for some pencils, but oh well. I'll say mine are they're loosely done in that fashion. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it's close enough. It's kind of bugging me because I don't know where those pencils are though. So sometimes if I've been using them, I don't know if anybody else does this, but if there's ones that I've picked out, sometimes I pop them in these slots at the back, you know, if I'm using them for something specific. But I genuinely don't know where they are. They'll be kicking about somewhere. They won't have gone far. Anywho's, so let's just make a start. This is such a cute book. If any of you haven't seen this, it's so nice. One of the things I really like about Hannah Carlson's books, apart from the fact they're hardback, which I always appreciate, is that there's always a really nice variety of images, but there's always a variety of complexities as well. So there's a nice mixture of these kind of simpler images, and you can just pick out one thing at a time. But if you're feeling it a lot fancier, there's stuff like this, and you can absolutely go to town. And all of her books are like that, and I absolutely love them. Jan, I wonder if there is a shop online where you could replace them. Yvonne! I can't tell if there's sarcasm or cheek involved in that, Yvonne, but I don't know whether you just missed it, but Jan's making a joke. Oh, that's funny. Right, okay. Oh, jeez. I honestly hope that they're cheaper in the stash shop than they are in Hobbycraft. See if they're not, then I'm doing something wrong. Right, okay. So my idea here for this, I haven't thought about colour schemes or anything like that because obviously didn't know what y'all were going to pick. But one thing I do want to do, and I did this in one of Hannah's other books when we had sort of itty bitty bits like this, and that was to put a really dark sort of fade out around each item just to make it like pop out from the page. I don't know if any of you remember that. It was like I think it was like harvest items, and I think I used like a Payne's Grey because I seem to remember doing it around a pumpkin and a leaf. That was ages ago though. I'm going to use black this time though. The black pencils don't often get some love, so we're going to do with that. You pull out the Sarah cubes randomly, pick one. That would be hilarious. You did that with the veggies, fruits. Yes, there was a pumpkin. Yeah, I remember the pumpkin. Radishes and turnips. Yeah, because we had the debate about what some of the things we had. That's right. See, you guys have a much better memory than me. Right, okay. I'm going to start with this candy cane right in the middle just because it's in middle and why not? Hi, Lisa. How you doing? There we go, Yvonne. That something I definitely don't need is spare polychromos. I've got more of them than I can shake a stick at, or in this case, a candy cane. Do you know, it's one of those things I actually forget about quite a lot, like the fact that I actually have like literally hundreds of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've already got those pencils. To be fair though, I mean, for most of you that have got a set of polychromos, the replacement rate's pretty low. I use mine quite frequently. To be fair, not of late, just because there's been other stuff going on. But I have replaced far fewer polychromos than I have of like any other type of pencil that I own. There just seemed to be a really nice mix of firmness and creaminess at the same time. And like these will always be my favourite pencils, but I think because they're quite versatile as well, you know, they behave well with most types of paper. So there we go. I'm not specifically trying to create, let's zoom in a wee bit. I'm not specifically trying to create a shadow here. I'm just wanting an outline. and I'll even it up as I go along. And it's just to make the item pop. So in the line work, I'm leaning quite heavily and putting quite a heavy layer down, and then I'm just lightening up my pressure as I'm heading away from the object just to feather it out a wee bit. And I'm using those nice wee circly motions known as scumbling to create that. And again, it's one of those things like you'll even it out as you go along. The idea I think to start with is just to to get around it, get it started. So we'll do that. Just while we're here, I don't know how many of you are actually in here that have contacted me, but I just wanted to say thank you to all those that have reached out to me, via email and DM and stuff, because some of you have been quite concerned. One with the lack of activity on the channel, but also knowing the information that you know. For those of you that don't know, Pip had surgery recently and it's not really gone as well as we hoped. She's okay, but she's not healing up very well, and we're kind of like not back to the drawing board, pardon the pun. But there was a bit of a setback, and she should have been like back to normal by now, and she's not. But she is okay. We just have to look after her and supervise her as well. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to get a collie to stay still and not play with things and not go for walks. Let me tell you, it is not fun. So we're dealing with that, and also Mama Jem is considerably unwell, and it's quite serious, but she's hanging in there. So I've been dealing with quite a lot. So that's why we've been quite quiet. I've just had to prioritise other things recently, which is unfortunate, but obviously under these circumstances it's very understandable. So, but we're here. We're here and we're okay. So I've got quite a complicated bit to go down these like frondy bits. Frondy bits, that's not even a word. Come on, Jem. The Prismacolor are the ones that you have to replace after every colouring page. It kind of feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Black Rose says, this year has been a struggle, it seems. But do you know what? I've actually had a really good year up until like the last couple of weeks. It's literally just the last few weeks that I've gone to shit. Pardon my French. Yeah, everything's gone a bit Pete Tog at the last minute, but I'm optimistic that things will improve. We're saying that Pip's sporting some silverware. She's got staples in now. She did have like normal people stitches, and that didn't work. So she's now got staples, and I call it her silverware. She's not impressed. Like she's not a happy camper. She's pretty sulky. But more than anything, she's absolutely bored out her skull. Which there's only so much you can do to alleviate when you're not allowed to do anything. It's like you just sit there and look cute. She's not very happy about that either. Let's get working around here. I'm going to have to tilt this a little bit just to make things a wee bit easier on myself. Get that nice and dark in there. So I would love to hear about everyone's festive activities. Has anybody been on like Christmas nights out yet, or that kind of thing? Has everybody got their tree up as well? I'm really happy about my tree. Like Christmas trees make me super happy, and I didn't have one last year because last year was horrible for me. So I'm like doubly excited about my tree this year. Well, I always think Black Rose that if it's like this at the end of the year, then you've got the chance to kind of like start afresh in January. And I don't know about you, but that's what I'm hoping for anyway. I say after surviving everything that went on last year, I'm pretty sure that everything will get there this year. It'll be fine. Oh, Angela, I'm sorry. Mary's tree's up. Jan, Thursday she went to a Christmas party and it was epic. You can go to a Christmas market yourself, Black Rose. You don't need to take your boyfriend. Yvonne's decorations and tree came out of the loft an hour ago. Woo! Yay! April, no tree here because I travel at Christmas and have cats. Well, that's understandable. Cats and trees not always the best thing. I had a friend that I went to uni with, and he had a Maine Coon, and he could not put a Christmas tree up in his house because it would only be up for about 15 minutes. And his cat, whose name I can't remember now, that's terrible, decided that, it was basically like tree felling. Oh, my Mama James phoning me. Excuse me a tiny second, guys. Oh, oh, she's rung off. I'll just send her a wee message. Maybe her ears were burning. Speak of the devil. Let's pop that off to the side. That's one of those ones, obviously, just because of what we've just been talking about. If she calls me, I will be answering it. But she probably, to be fair, she probably didn't know that I was live streaming either. So we'll see. Hopefully she messages me back and she's okay. Now, there you go. Daria's got it sorted out. She travels at Christmas, so she puts her decorations up early. I like that very much. Yvonne's excited to be a granny next year in March. Whee! That's exciting. She felt spidey senses we were talking about her. Yvonne cleaning and decorations tomorrow, yeah. I like to kind of do mine in stages though. And because, well, this is our second Christmas here in this house, in the new cave. And because I didn't really do much last year, it kind of feels like the first year this year. I didn't even have a Christmas tree last year, I just didn't have it in me. So there's been lots of sort of pondering and like, like holding decorations up and like trying them in different places around the house. Hi Marilise, didn't see, did you tiptoe in? She's got a garland on the stairs. I would love to have a garland on the stairs, but I don't have any stairs. I had stuff like that in the old house. The old house was like a big drafty old massive farmhouse. Yeah, and it had quite a sort of grand staircase. There is no such thing in this house. So we had to, that was severely influenced our choice of tree as well. Because I'm always very much like a go big or go home, but also we've always had trees like on the land that we've stayed on, and we've always just gone and found one and cut one down ourselves. There are no such trees here. So we went to a neighbour who's a couple of, well, say a couple of farms long, maybe more than a couple of farms, and he's got like his own sort of pick your own tree. And it's just a little small setup he's got, and it's quite sort of informal, but the gentleman's lovely. And we went and looked, so he kind of pointed us in the direction of what he called the good ones. He said he had like wonky ones and good ones. And there was a beautiful big tree, but I think it was like a 9 foot tree, and our ceilings are only 8 foot in this house. So I went for like a short one, but a really thick, like dumpy but lush one. Like the branches are so close together, so it's actually really pretty. It's small but perfectly formed, and it fits perfectly in the space in the living room as well. So we chose well, but I had to go against all of my usual Christmas tree buying instincts, or should I say Christmas tree picking instincts, because we've always been able to have really big trees, and say not so much here. So there'll be a lot of like tree ornaments, like actual Christmas tree decorations that we won't use because it's a much smaller tree. Black Rose isn't feeling like decorating. Yes, that's exactly the way I felt last year. Looking for a flat. Wow. Shopping done for Christmas, not thought about decorating yet. Yeah, well, that's me. Like all my presents are have been bought. A clever clogs. I do need to wrap them all though. That's the one thing. Unfortunately, as well, I had one of the things I was wanting to do this year was to replace a lot of the dog toys. There's a lot of toys that we've had for a long time, and they're not necessarily like unusable, but they're kind of past their best. They're a bit tatty, they're a bit tired. So I was planning on sort of rejuvenating the dog's toy basket. At the moment, Pip is not allowed to play with anything. The toy basket has been removed so that she can't get overexcited with herself. And this box of stuff arrived and there was dog toys in it. And I was starting to unpack them and she was through in the other room, so I thought it was safe. And of course, the minute I started to pull out the BALLs, she magically appeared like, this little apparition, and she's looking at me and she's looking at the toys. I was like, oh. I didn't think I would actually have to hide Christmas presents from from my dogs. So anyway, I've tucked them away out of sight, so she's kind of forgotten about them now. But if if there's anything that Pip doesn't need when she's not allowed it, it's a ball, because just making sure she's not here, because that's her thing. But it's literally like having a toddler. But I'm sure that'll be much fun. So hopefully she'll be repaired by the time Christmas Day rolls round, and she will be able to enjoy them at their fullest. We're on quite well now. I think I've navigated this fairly well. Hi Terry, how are you? Just here for a moment. Oh, that's okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You're heading off to climb a mountain with friends today. Well, that's exciting. Yvonne's tree is 30 years old. Every year I intend to replace it, it wobbles but does the job. I love that. Theo says, I'll send her a ball with your Christmas present. Well, Julia's mum, Agneta, she actually sent us two. She gave me one home with me the last time I was in Sweden, and it's a very specific type of ball, but it's soft and it's hollow and it's got, in fact, I think it's still, yeah, I'll show you. Try and explain myself. I'll just show you. So this is the OG one. So you can see it's got holes in it. But it's really, really soft, and it's good because you can like hide it in your hands or like under your foot when you're playing with the dogs. But ours, unfortunately, is it's come in pieces now. But I've had that since last September, and that is, both of our dogs play with this all the time. So Julia's mum sent over two new ones, one for Jock and one for Pip, and she even wrote their names on the labels. It was so cute. Um, I've not done anything with them though, because Pip's not allowed to play with anything. But Pip is always grateful for a new ball. Still not here. We're good. So that's her thing. But we were trying to figure out why, because she's always had lots of things to play with, but that's like the default. That's the thing she wants to go for. But when we first got her, the very first night we brought her back from the breeder, and we had her in the kitchen. So that was in the original cave, and the kitchen was really big there, and it was a tiled floor. So we thought we'll put her down there and let her kind of like dodge about for a couple of minutes, and then we introduced her to Jock and Woo gradually. But she was quite frightened, obviously. So I went and got a tennis ball, and she was chasing it about the floor. So I think that's because that was like the first thing she got to play with. And that was what we put in our crate with her as well, the very first time that she was like in her crate proper. We left her with that. And it's one of it's one of the ones that didn't have any fuzz on it, but it was like this tennis ball size, that's what I mean. And we gave her that to try and settle her. Because one of the things we do with all our puppies is we do it with all the dogs, but when we come back from a WALK, it's quiet time, and we shut the dogs in their bed area for about an hour. So in the winter, when it's really bad weather, it lets them dry off and crisp up, and then we can like brush the dirt out of them and then just like sweep it up. But also it teaches the dogs to rest and not self-soothe as pups, but just to learn that it's okay to be calm as well as to be active. So the first couple of times we do it with the pup, we shut them in the crate, but we usually give them something to occupy themselves with. And we can, well, in that house we could see them, they were still supervised, but I think that's why, the fact that it was one of the first things she got to play with, but it was the first toy that was really hers as well. I think that's why she's got a thing about tennis balls. But also she's a collie, it might just be that. Jock's not so bothered. Jock will play with other things though. Julia's mum's great. She is like, she's an absolute sweetheart. I love her. Yeah, the darker colour thing's really nice. See, if you've got a page like this, even if the items aren't that colourful or there's not a lot of detail, doing this is, you know, it's just a really simple thing that you can do that just gives you a bit of like a bit of pizzazz. It works really well if you work it in with a colour scheme as well. So say for example your item is like oranges and reds, you can use like a dark blue. So you've got that opposite side of the colour wheel, and gives you a really, really nice contrast. But the key to it is, I mean, you can use any colour, but to use a very dark version, and that's what lifts it off the white of the page because that gives you your contrast. I would highly recommend like a dark olive greens are good, indigos, or really, really dark purples, all good options. Maybe for wintry things as well, like a burgundy colour might be quite nice. I suppose it depends on your subject matter. Obviously, if you use black, that's very neutral and that goes with everything, so you can do that too. I seem to be keeping this fairly even. I feel like I'm lacking down here though. I feel that this needs to be a bit thicker down this bottom edge. Slacking off down there. Ooh. Here as well. The trick to this as well is you need your point on your pencil needs to be like somewhere in the middle. If you have a really pointy point, then you don't get the nice sort of soft feathered edge, but if it's too blunt, it makes it difficult to get that nice crisp edge in at your line work. And obviously in the fiddly bits, should they appear, which we have a fair amount of here. But we're getting there. Patience is a virtue. Get this on the go. Ooh. We're working around quite nicely here. These little leaves or fronds or whatever you want to call them, they kind of remind me of sea anemones. Anemones, yes, anemones. Saw some really nice anemones at the aquarium in Malta. I love going to aquariums. I've kind of got a thing about it. And I got loads of video footage and really good photographs for drawing fish. And Mr. Jem didn't tell me at the time. He really wasn't that bothered about going, but the aquarium was like a 10-minute walk from our hotel. And obviously I really wanted to go, but he wasn't that enthusiastic about it, which he didn't tell me till afterwards. And he said to me afterwards, he says, I'm really glad I went. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that you're glad that you went, but I didn't think you would be unglad about going. He's like, yeah, I wasn't really that bothered. But Mr. Jem's not a particularly animated person, like he's quite stoic. And when he gets excited about things, it's not always apparent. And when I say he was like a kid in a candy store, like he's like, look at this, Jem, like wow. And he was taking loads of photos and stuff, so he really enjoyed himself. I think he probably enjoyed himself more because he didn't think he was going to enjoy himself. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that worked out well for me. There's some incredibly cool creatures in there. Oh, that didn't go according to plan. My hand's not really been behaving itself recently. We had when we had dinner last night. Now see, I'm bringing up food. There's a first. We had some mashed potato, and when I was draining the potatoes, my hand decided that it just wanted to spasm. So I had it was a two-handled pot and I'd tipped it to obviously like drain out the potatoes and this hand just went like that. and the whole thing went upside down. So all of my potatoes ended up all over the floor, in the sink, on the draining board. So we had to salvage what we could. Thankfully, Mr. Jem had peeled enough potatoes to feed about 600 people. So there was enough there. There was actually more than enough for both of us, but that was a lot of cleaning up. I wasn't very happy about that. And that's just like a long string of incidents over the last few days. So I don't know what's going on. It's not even particularly cold because I do find that the spasms are worse when it's really, really cold, like proper icy cold. But it's not been too bad this last little while. But my hand's just, yeah, it's just not playing ball just now. Hello, Colour with Claire, how are you? Have you come in to see what's going on? I've been railroaded into Christmas colouring. Not that I'm complaining, you understand. It's quite funny now as well because there's been quite a few times with Hannah Carlson's books where Julia's sent me like the Swedish version a little bit earlier than you can get the English version, and I've got a newfound appreciation for them now because I'm learning Swedish and I kind of know what stuff means, which is nice. Not that there's usually a lot of writing going on, but do you know that way, like I sit and read the inside cover and I'm like, I understand that, it's Swedish. Oh. Quite funny. My Swedish is getting rusty though. I haven't been. I normally try and do a couple of lessons a week on Babbel, and again, just because other stuff's been going on, I've not been doing it. Right, okay, so we've got a nice little outline there. Again, I feel like this could be a bit more raw. That's, again, the technical term. It makes something raw. There we go, it's so pretty. I think we're going to have to go traditional candy cane colours though, or just traditional colours altogether. Susan went to see the Christmas lights with her daughter. She's 24 going on 4. Maybe hand stuff can be aggravated by stress. I don't know, Danny, honestly. It might be. Thea might be right though. My hand just knows it's supposed to be cold. Actually, it is. Like, yeah, it's not even that. It doesn't feel that stiff. Like it's just like. Ah. How is the jogging or running going? It's going. It's not fast and it's not pretty, but it's going. Yeah, I did. Right, let me just pick out some colours first. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about my runs. Okay, I did bring my swatch book so I can show you the colours. Let me just zoom out a wee bit here. Let's find the polychromos page. Yep. Okay, I think we'll go. Why don't we go some fuchsia for the actual stripes on the candy cane, and we'll keep our reds and greens for our wee holly and our anemones. Hello, Yana. How are you? Mostly lurking and watching today. Cute page to start work on. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the fuchsia. I'm also feeling the middle purple pink as well. Oh, maybe we should have light magenta and mid purple pink. Oh, I like that idea. Let me see what I can find. I've got light magenta, middle purple pink. I can hear Jocks. Yeah, he's really snoring. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pop this out of the way. We'll make these shiny, so like a really nice glaze on our. Oh, when do we sharpen here? Grab my sharpener. It's so loud. Oh. Yep, that'll do. That'll do for me. Right, let's get zoomed back in a wee bit there. If you can hear the rumbling of Jock in the background, I don't think it's that intrusive to be honest. But yeah, it's just him snoring. Yes, so got myself gathered together, went out for my first run, and the aim of the game, I haven't run regularly for over 5 years. Excuse me, it's actually closer to 6. and I haven't been super fit from running for nearly 10 years. So my expectations were pretty low. So what I did was I mapped out a 5k route, so 5 kilometers, 3.11 miles if you are an imperial person, and my sole aim was just to run for as long as I could at a very, very slow pace, like almost what I call a baby jog, but just faster than a brisk walk and no more. So you've only got like a tiny bob in your step, and basically just do that for as long as I could before I felt as if I had to stop and walk, and then just walk for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes and then start jogging again. And the idea was just to kind of like get myself round the route that I had set out. That was my only intention. And when it comes to running, I'm an experienced runner. I know my body well, but I've got to remember that I am not 20 anymore, and I really kind of like lowered my expectations. So that was fine. Off I went, toddled along, everything was great, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can do this. So my watch, when I set it up for a run, it beeps and it vibrates every mile. You can set it to kilometers or miles, but I'm generally running miles. And I was going along, and I got a lot further than I thought I would, without having to stop and walk. And I thought, oh, this is really good. Like, I wonder if I'll make it to a mile. So it beeped for a mile, and I'm thinking, oh, well, that's just marvelous. Started to feel pretty good, and I was feeling quite comfortable. And before I knew where I was, I ran all the way round, like without stopping to walk at all. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I was kind of done by the time I got to the end, but I was so impressed with myself. But I mean, I was very, very cautious, and it was very, very slow. But it was a real sense of accomplishment, and I was so, so pleased with myself. Got in the shower and got myself all nice and clean and changed and whatnot, and went and sat on the couch with Pip for a wee while. And within 2 hours, I felt as if someone was like started to squeeze my hips. And then I felt as if someone was starting to squeeze my legs. And less than 3 hours when I came back from the run, I swear blind, I couldn't walk. I physically couldn't walk. I had to hold on to the furniture to pull myself up into a standing position. And walking was like someone was sticking needles into everything below my waist. It was extremely painful, and I thought to myself, you were really foolish to think that that was going to go like that, and you wouldn't injure yourself or you wouldn't feel sore. Oh my word. That went on for nearly 3 days. And I was beginning to think to myself, like, have I actually done something? Like, have I injured something? Mr. Jem thought it was hilarious. I did not think it was hilarious because, like, even when I went to bed at night, I couldn't find like a comfortable position to lie in because whatever part was touching the mattress was agony. So that was the Wednesday, and I'd planned to run again on the Saturday. And do you know that way? I was like, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to run again on Saturday. I could barely walk. So took lots of cod liver oil, had a bath, did all the stretches, did all the hip openers and all the bits and bobs. And by Sunday, I was marginally better, and I thought, right, I'm just going to go for it. So I ran on the Sunday as well, and I was actually okay. I was still sore afterwards, but nowhere near the way I was after the first one. So there we go. That is the saga of the running. So it's actually going quite well. I'm managing 5k. It's very, very slow times, like nowhere near where I would normally run. But my plan is I'm just doing 2 runs a week just now. And next week I'm going to go up to 3. And once I've done that for a few weeks, that's when I'm going to start working on my pace and trying to speed up a little bit. There is lots of work to be done on pace. But my uncle always used to say to me, he used to be a really keen runner, and sometimes we would run together. And he always used to say to me, if you put in the miles, the minutes take care of themselves. And what he means is if you put in the work and do all the runs, your times will start to come down naturally because your stamina and your fitness just builds up. And I mean, I know this already. I know this already, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm really enjoying it. It is a thing that brings me a lot of happiness. Um, and like I feel very fulfilled running. So long may it continue. I haven't been out. I'm supposed to go out this morning, but the weather's been really bad. It's been really stormy here. So I am planning on going out after work tomorrow instead. That is my plan. And that will be my Sunday run. But see, I'm going to try and get 3 runs in this week. We're kind of busy this week. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but we make time. We make time. Yeah, I woke up, Thea, and I was like, holy hamstrings, oh my word, what am I doing? And you kind of doubt yourself. You're like, oh, like, you're too old for this. And I'm like, no, I'm definitely not too old for this. I'm just really unfit, that's all. A root canal is more appealing than running. I do say that to people though, like, see if you don't like running, don't torture yourself because you have to really, really like running to, to be able to sort of keep it up. It's not one of those things that you can just kind of stick out and, feel the benefit of without being absolutely miserable. But I happen to very, very much enjoy it. It's 100% my thing. Makes me really happy. Mr. Jem said to me when I was hurpling about the house after my first run, he's like, I'm really proud of you for getting back out. I was like, thanks, I hate you, stop talking. It just takes a wee bit of time to get back into it though. It's funny though, because I've definitely got like muscle memory going on, because even my breathing patterns and everything, like once my body kind of like, once I got into a rhythm, my brain's going, oh, I remember how to do it. Yeah, like let's do this will be fine, like we'll be comfortable, we'll be good. So yeah. Okay, so we still want to keep the shiny on this bit, but this is kind of like tucked in behind. So let's make that a little bit darker in there. Just a wee bit. I don't even know what to do. I think I'll start from the bottom now and work my way up. I like that idea better. Mary preferred walking or swimming. Well, see, I love swimming. I just don't like having to get wet. It's like the inconvenience of having to get wet. But I enjoy swimming. I'm quite a strong swimmer as well, but I just don't like the it's all the other stuff that goes with swimming, whereas I feel like with walking and running, as long as I've got a decent sports bra on and I've got decent shoes on, that's all you need. So basically, change your bra, change your shoes, off you go. Jobs are good. And whereas with swimming, it's like, well, I've got to shave my legs and I've got to put a swimsuit on under my clothes so that I don't have to change into it when I get to the pool and my hair and, like all that stuff. Um, that doesn't really appeal to me, honestly. Mama Jim loves swimming. She's a good swimmer as well. It's what we call her, the wee fish. She's a wee fish, and she's a very, very good swimmer and always has been. But she grew up beside the seaside, and she used to swim in the sea when she was young, back when you could do that without catching something. Swimming over running 100%. April tried couch to 5K once, but running with a disability was not meant to be. Yeah, well, that's understandable also. Oh, I think that's Mama Jane messaging me back. See, she knows we're talking about her. She knows we're talking about her. Right, okay, that's her sorted out. Hey, Mama Jim. I will tell her that you were all um asking after her when I speak to her in a wee while. I'm really liking this colour combination. It's probably one I've used a million times before, but it's a really satisfying shade of pink, and the two colours work really well together. Like it a lot. I haven't booked my first, just going back to the running thing very quickly. I haven't booked my first race yet, but I'm sure I talked about the last time we had a live stream. I used to run the Kelpies through in Falkirk, and the organisers that it's a really good race and it's a really inclusive race. There's it's all in stages, so you can walk it as well. And I was talking to Papa Jem about it because it's actually on his birthday. And I said to him, I said, look, I'm going to book this. I'm going to run this next year. And I said to him, I said, why don't you come and you can walk it and you could do it for charity? Because we were talking about running for charity. And an obvious charity for me to pick right now is the British Heart Foundation because of Mama Jem. And I said to Dad, I said, there's nothing to stop you walking it. And Mama Jem pipes up and said, well, if I've had my surgery, I'll walk it as well. I was like, oh, good Lord. So now he's actually considering it. So I think we're actually going to do it. Be great. Because what I would do is they put the runners out first. So, because obviously some people are going for a time, and then the walkers go behind. So what I would do is I would run round and then just keep running till I caught up with Papa Jem. So basically, like go a second lap, and then I could walk the rest of it with him. So we were kind of thinking about doing that. We've not decided completely yet, but into the new year, I'm just going to book it and I'm going to go. It's not too far to drive from here either, so I've also found that the same organisers they do one on the Forth Road Bridge. So that's the bridge that connects Edinburgh to like the north part of Scotland where I used to live. And I think these runs are at night time, so it's all about lights and whatnot. And the new Forth Road Bridge is spectacular when it's lit up at night. So I think I would quite like to do that as well. And again, it's really close by. I think it's at a different time of year though. I don't think it's March time, which is when the one at the Kelpies is. But I'm going to look into that too. That'll be nice. Katara grew up near a river and taught herself to swim. Mary used to swim in the water as well. Yeah. Danny saw a cow ugly Christmas sweater in a shop yesterday and thought of me. Oh, thank you. Thanks, I think. One even had a classy little cowbell. Oh, I wish she'd have sent me a picture, Danny. That would have been amazing. I always appreciate a good cow jumper. Oh, that's funny. Susan says, get to your local park run on a Saturday morning. Park run. There's quite a few around here, Susan, but it's not my thing. I don't like it. I like to like just I just hate people. Like I really do. There is no point in a park run. I can run 5K. I have like miles and miles of quiet roads and like trails and tracks around me. I don't need to go and do a park run. Park runs are great. I used to do it in Glasgow. See, when I lived in the city, I used to do it in Glasgow and it was okay, but they were really, really busy. And I don't really have the patience to like dance my way around people with that are, there for their social meeting with their pals that they only saw 2 days ago and stuff like that. And I also don't have time for the really competitive people that get huffy because you're running slower than them and you're in front of them. That's not what park runs are for. Yeah, it's really not my thing. I just don't. It's too social for me. I like running races. That's because you get a banana and a medal at the end. And the timings are usually quite accurate. But nah, no thanks. I really like the fact that there's a lot of them around here though. The landowner's wife, she's just started running and they have 3 sons and 2 of the 3 sons run as well. So she's trying to get herself to the point where she can run at like a respectable 5K time so that she can go with the boys and run with the boys. And I think she's been doing the park runs, but it's not for me. Okay. Do we think, right, question here. Do we think that I should add in like a little bit of an icy blue colour on the white bits, or do you think I should just leave them white? I am open to suggestion for that. What do you like better, the north or south of Scotland? Well, it technically, see, because of the way the border runs, at least because the border of Scotland's basically like that. So technically, just now we're actually south if you're going by the border. But we're actually not because on the west coast that border's much lower down. So it's very different. The east coast and the west coast are very different. Um, I prefer like sort of in the middle because when we were up in the north, I preferred it up there, but we weren't really, really far north. That doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, I liked where we were because it's really, really pretty. I would not want to move back to the west coast ever. It's too wet, it's too windy. Yeah, no, no thanks. Oh, Danny, you're a legend. I'm gonna look at it right now. Danny's just sent me a picture of the Christmas jumper on Instagram. Right, okay. I need to look at this. Oh, I'm so glad you took a picture. That makes me so happy. Oh, it's not here yet, Danny. Okay. I shall wait. It might take a bit to come through. The internet's been okay, but we've got an actual mobile mast that's down, and I've noticed a lot of media connected things are a bit slower to come through. A little bit of shadow would look nice. Susan, if you're like me, I'm at the end, so avoid everyone. Do you know that's really funny because when I run a race, see if you're not penned up by your pace times, because some of the busier races they ask you to provide an estimated finishing time. So they set you off in stages, and it's so people aren't getting like stampeded and fastest ones go at the front, slower ones go at the back. But in races where that doesn't happen, I like to start at the back because it's almost like a psychological advantage passing people. I'm still running the pace I'm always going to run, but if you're at the very back, obviously there are faster runners and slower runners, and my times were sort of middling, not casual runner times, but not like competitive runner times. So I would say probably the faster side of the middle. So I would be passing a lot of people while I'm running, and that helps to keep you positive and keeps you running. So that's quite interesting that you've said that. With a bit of shadow would look nice. Maybe do another candy and decide how you feel after. It's too cold in the frozen north where I live. Right, I'd just like to point out Yvonne lives pretty much as far north in terms of inhabited places as you would ever want to live, and it's bloody freezing up there, isn't it, Yvonne? You've got like the worst of everything when it comes to the weather. But it is a very nice place and I like it. That's it. I was actually I was gonna let you know about that. Our friend that's getting married in May, his stag do is where you live, Yvonne. So I'm gonna make sure that you've got like the barricades and the crash helmets ready because once those boys descend, which includes Mr. Jem, obviously, you want to steer well clear of that. Okay, I think I might take uh, Danny's advice for the time being. I think I'll leave these white bits just now and we'll finish off this bit and then we'll decide whether or not we need to add anything else. I know one thing I want straight away. I would like this earth green colour here, which is one of my very, very favourites in this set. And I'm going to grab a little bit of the chrome oxide green as well. And these are for the anemone bits. An anemone. So there is the earth green. Yeah, let's go chrome oxide green. I bet you this is the one that's missing. Oh no, it's not. Here we go. Chrome oxide green. Let's do that. It's coming on 6. I'm just watching the clock. I need to go and check on. I don't need to supervise her all the time. We're kind of past that stage, but I just need to check in on her and make sure that she's okay and see if she wants to go outside. The other problem we have is she's got a little jacket on. Some of you that are in the Discord have seen the picture, so she's got like a bodysuit on. Basically, she needs to restrict her movement, but the bodysuit's to cover up the wound and to stop her being able to get to it and chew it or anything. Right, okay, so this is my wee earth green pencil here. This is one of my shorter pencils. I'm just going to put this down over all these little bits here. And then I'm going to use the chrome oxide green to make it a bit fancier. Yes, so one of the things that we've got to do is when she goes out for the toilet, she's got to be on a lead just now because she's not supposed to like run about, no sudden movements. So basically I've been like taking her, even if I don't think she needs to go, I've been taking her out anyway. So that's required on a fairly regular basis because I can't just normally I would just open the door and let her go out and she would go out and do her business and come back when she's ready, but I can't do that with her just now. So I will need to pop off and do that in a wee minute, but let's do this first. She's fairly settled though. She was investigating the Christmas tree earlier. And she's satisfied that it's not a threat to her abode, so she's like, yeah, it gets a pass, it's good. Is Hannah's paper off-white or cream? I would say that this paper is actually white. I think it's more the light, at least, because see if I show you if I show you it next to the my swatchbook paper, like this is like an off-white colour, so you can see that that's much whiter. The light that I've got on here in front of me is like a warm colour though, so I would say it's like normal people's white. It's not even off-white. It's normal people's white. Minnie, I've got sunburn and me and Malaysia and swim in the Atlantic. Okay, it was boiling. Yeah, I don't think there'll be much of that going on right now though. Hi, Nye, how are you doing? Ah, April, thank you. What's the super chat for? I have 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. I think we might have to put it towards another bowl for Pippi. Yeah, back in the 90s. Yeah. I hear you, Mary. I hear you. I really like swimming in the sea as well. When I go on holiday, I always swim in the sea. Kind of a bit excited about this. Oh, I thought I'd coloured in a wee bit wrong there, but it's fine. It's okay. Oh, I can hear the wind picking up now. The other exciting thing that's happened this week as well is most of you know out this window here I've got this bird feeder that sticks to the window and all the little birdies come and see me and it's like a wee soap opera. It's great. 2 days ago I had my first visit from one of our squirrels. There are two squirrels that traverse our garden, and again, I've explained this before. At that end, just over the wall at the end of our garden, is our grain shed. And at this side, there's a heavily wooded area. So the squirrels live in this wood and they use our garden basically as a rat run to go to the grain shed. They fill their pouches and they come back and they bury seed in the garden, in like a trail all the way back to wherever it is they're living. And they're very active at this time of year. And I did have squirrel mix out originally when I first put that feeder up. And we had no dice because obviously there's an abundance of food just over there, so they're not going to risk coming up to the building and up to a window when they don't need to because they're clever like that. Um, and I had a little visitor from we've got a fat squirrel and a thin squirrel, and it was the fat squirrel that came, and he or she is getting very brave now, and they've started to sit on the windowsill and eat a little bit out the feeder. So I'm trying to get him or her used to the fact that I'm here and I'm going to move about, but I'm behind the glass because I have no problems with them coming up. As long as there's food for the birds, but they don't seem to come at the same time. The birds are very active in the morning up until like maybe 1 o'clock, and then they tend to go and do their own thing. But we've got hanging feeders in the garden as well, so I see them quite a lot, the one with the fat balls in it. And this little squirrel seems to prefer an afternoon slot. So there's no sort of competition going on there. So I've decided to buy another bag of like actual squirrel food, which the pieces are slightly bigger, the seeds are larger. And there's also sweet corn, like dried corn in it, which the birds don't seem to want to touch. So there's two like separate ducats in that bird feeder. So I'll put the squirrel feed in one side and I'll put the bird feed in the other. And if he wants to come and say hi, that's fine. But what's interesting is the back part of that window, it opens and it opens out the way. And I've usually got it like cracked open a little bit just for ventilation. And when he was up, I say he, I'm assuming it's a he. I think the skinny one might be the she, and that's the he. When that window was cracked open, he was up and he had his little hands round like the window frame and he was sniffing up and down like the crack. And I thought to myself, see if I left that window open, I bet you'd try and come in here. So that little saga will continue, I'm sure. But it's really nice to see him because at one point he clocked me because I'm usually sitting here, but if I'm working my proper job, I'm facing the other way, so you can see me out the window. And he literally had his hands up on the frame and he was like looking in, like peering at me, like, "Are you a person?" Hey Patty, nice to see you. Yeah, we've got peanuts. I am allergic to nuts, so I've got a little spoon that I use for the bucket. But that's what he's in for. He wants the peanuts. But apparently, it's better to give them the shelled ones, because that's more natural, like foraging behaviours for them. So the squirrel mix that I've got coming has got them in the shells, and we'll leave Mr. or Mrs. Squirrel to figure out for themselves. I don't feel like I've got enough colour with this pencil. Right, guys, I'm just going to go and do a quick check with Pip and see if she wants to go. Well, she's going out whether she likes it or not. Sorry you've just arrived, Patty, but I'm going to bugger off for a minute. And I am allowing you to open the conversations about what you're all having for dinner. And I'll be back in just a wee second, guys. I'll pop back really shortly. Just bear with me. Get like you all talking about your food. That was the most efficient pee I've ever seen from my dog in her life. She literally like went out the steps, squatted down, and then turned around and wanted to come back in. Right, let's see what everyone's having for tea then. Food talk: rainbow trout, sourdough toast, ham salads, beef stroganoff. Oh, beef stroganoff. Ugh. That's like, oh, I don't like things with creamy sauces. Jan, I thought she'd never go. Love you too, Jan. Oh, that's quite funny. Oh dear. Chicken Kiev roast fennel, Cobb salads. Oh, smoking salmon. Oh my goodness, all this food stuff. Danny's actively making herself makeshift veggie soup, whatever's in the fridge. Yeah, we do that a lot as well. Just use whatever's kicking about. Sea bass. I love sea bass. That's like my favourite fish. I didn't know that's what your French chef was cooking you, Jan. You never revealed that before. Poached pears for pudding. Ham salad. All the salads. Let's look at you healthy, schmelthy people. It's that windy, it's Lucky Pips. We did flat back park. Yeah, that's funny. Chicken noodle soup. The Cobb salad is an American garden salad typically made with chopped salad greens, tomato, bacon, chicken breast, hard-boiled eggs, avocado, chives, blue cheese, and red wine vinaigrette. Well, that sounds like a lot. It sounds quite filling, Patty. There's none of that in the salad here. Has the cow come in yet? Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. Where's my phone? Sat it down somewhere. I know. I was going to say I know what Thea's having for dinner because she told me earlier. She having a lasagna. That's something I've got to do this week. Next weekend we are going to see Mr. Jem's family. We call it going to see the tribe because there's like a million of them, and his oldest sister is hosting, so she's doing like a buffet dinner. So I said that I would take a few things down. So I have to decide what I'm doing, but I kind of want to make a focaccia. I haven't made one for ages. Right, okay, so Danny, just for your information, it's telling me that I've got a message, like the notifications coming up, but it's not in it's not in the chat. Did you DM it to me? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it might be on. Oh no, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me look. Might be. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I've got it. Oh. Oh, that is such a good ugly cow Christmas jumper. I don't know if you look. That's amazing. I totally want that jumper. That's so good. Oh, Danny, you've actually made my night. That's hilarious. Oh, thank you so much. An ugly Christmas cow jumper. That's like life goals for me right there. Ah, that's hilarious. Oh dear. Thank you, Wikipedia. I thought that was your own description, Patty. Katara did lasagna once with courgettes instead of the noodles. It was so noodles. Oh, you mean the pasta? A layered salad. Yes, a very stodgy layered salad. Yeah, that jumper is so good. And that jumper really does have my name written all over it, doesn't it? Elise, you are so right. I do like a good ugly Christmas jumper. I'm just really happy this year because my Christmas attire fits me. Last year, like none of my Christmas jumpers fitted me because I was substantially bigger than I am now. And I can get back into all of them, which is really nice. And most of you remember I had like a cardigan and it was navy and it had like little sequins stitched into it that, like with a Christmas pattern that ran across. That's a wee bit nippy, like it's a wee bit tight, but I can get it fastened. So another couple of pounds and it'll be just good on me. So I'm really happy about that this year as well. Right, let's get back to our anemones. Oh, zoom in a wee bit again. I think that'd probably be a good idea, wouldn't it? Oh, let's do that. And I'll put the manual focus back in so you don't get seasick. And let's work in this darker colour. I'm not going to be particularly fussy or have any rules as to what I'm doing with it because this is like kind of small area. I just want to make sure there's plenty of layers down, so we've got nice rich colour. But I do want this to be darker because I'm going to use more vibrant colours for this so that it pops out. It's back to what we were saying earlier about contrast. Obviously having this wee black outline really helps, but I want to have a bit of interest here. I have to say as well, like the colouring side of things, I've talked about this a lot in the past. I haven't talked about it recently. Um, Obviously, I'm kind of in a period of stress just now, just with the stuff that's going on, and colouring like this is a really good way for me to still do arty stuff, but without having a lot of pressure on myself, and also the sort of time restraints that one would normally associate with painting or drawing or whatever. So there'll probably be quite a lot of colouring, generally speaking, for the next couple of months, just because it's a nice accessible way to, to still sort of create the creations without actually having to create, if that makes any sense at all. It made sense in my head. Maybe didn't sound like it, but it made sense to me. And it is a really accessible way, especially if you have a lot going on. I mean, everyone's got a lot going on. I mean, between family, like kids, work, and all these other responsibilities that we've all got as upstanding members of society. It's just a really nice way to enjoy yourself. And for me, I think it's going to be the way forward. Although I have to say, I'm getting a little bit of gouache withdrawal. I feel like a snowy gouache scene coming on. I had taken out some black watercolor paper the other day, and I thought, oh, this is just screaming for like a gouache winter scene. So I might do some of that. I don't know when I'm going to do that. As I say, I'm pretty busy for the next couple of weeks until I finish up my proper job. For Christmas. I have managed to secure my usual time off. I'm actually off for nearly 3 weeks from my proper job. So that's worked out quite well because that's what I used to do. But the demands from my proper job have been a bit more just recently, so I was quite glad to be able to still get the time off. Also, I want to spend a good amount of time with Mama Jem as well and just kind of like look after her a wee bit and do the doing. Someone had asked me as well, someone had sent me an email on an unrelated subject and they'd asked me if Papa Jem and I are doing our Christmas tradition. Um, and the answer is yes, we are. So Papa Jim's he's a bit of a Scrooge. Like he is actually a bit of a Scrooge. He doesn't like the sort of obligatory performative nature of gift giving at Christmas. He feels it's quite wasteful, and he's very much of the opinion of, he doesn't really need stuff and it's just stuff, and I get that. So before the pandemic, I think the first year we did it was 2000 and I want to say 18. I decided that I was going to do something a little bit different for Papa Jim, and I didn't tell him the first year. So the a couple of days before Christmas, I think it might have been the 21st or the 22nd of December, I told Papa Jim that he had to get up early and that I needed his help with something, and we were going on a bit of a mission in the truck. So he hauled himself out of bed. And when I pulled up outside a supermarket, he was visibly angry. And he's like, "Why have you brought me to a supermarket like a couple of days before Christmas?" And what I said to him was, "You and I are going to go and do a, a shop in this supermarket." Now, bearing in mind, I hate supermarkets. I know it's the one of the things that triggers my anxiety. I hate being in a supermarket, but I was going to suck it up. And I said to him, I said, "We're going to do a full shop and we're going to put it straight into the food bank." Because you keep saying that, you know, there's people that need things, and wasting money on Christmas presents is exactly that, it's a waste. So that is my Christmas present to you. And he was visibly touched but also quite excited about that, and we've done it every year since. So we were talking this year whether or not we were going to do it again, because other stuff going on, and we're absolutely going to do it, because we had to skip a year because of the pandemic. We just couldn't, you know, it wasn't a good idea to be in the supermarket kind of thing. So we're going to do that, and it's going to be a new supermarket this year. We didn't do it last year because Christmas was basically cancelled. So really looking forward to that as well. And but now what we do is we agree a budget each. So we end up actually doing two shops. But it gets quite funny because Papa Jem and I are really similar, and when we're in the supermarket, we've got like our Santa hats on and everything. But the debate gets quite heated, and it's arguments over what's more important, to buy this item or this item. Uh, so, you know, people are kind of looking at us weird. We're standing in you know, like in the toiletries aisle arguing about tampons and stuff. Like, no, we need to get these ones. And people are looking at my dad, who's in his 60s, like, what are you going on about? It's very, very funny, but we're quite passionate about it, you know. So I'm looking forward to doing that with him this year as well, because it gives us a bit of like father-daughter bonding time as well. So that's going to be good for giggles this year. Right, let's get back into the swatch book. The choice for the reds here, obviously these are holly berries. Let me just find the page first, and then I'll zoom you out a wee bit. There we go. Oh, that's better. So probably I want to say I'm going to use madder and deep red. And madder's kind of like, it's kind of nudging into pink a wee bit too much though. But I feel like the alizarin crimson isn't dark enough. I might just go for it and use the dark red. Why not? Let's go deep red and dark red. Um, Where is my... Oh. Oh, I think deep red's the pencil that's missing. Oh no, it's not. Telling lies again. Yeah, deep red and dark red. Okay, let's do something with these berries. I think I might grab a Posca pen to put a wee bit of shine on these. Let's just get this colour down, just do it. Couple of layers. This is very comforting colouring, I have to say. With very familiar subjects. Which is kind of, it's like putting on a comfy pair of slippers. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, oh, there's lots of, you're very chatty tonight, chat. Mary's got a Star Wars Christmas jumper, that's amazing. Please can you share a picture of that in the Discord? I would like to see that also. Cows must be Christmas trendy this year. There's several cow designs. The cow stuff was really trendy here, but it was like, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. It's kind of fallen out of fashion. Now the Highland cow stuff's still a wee bit trendy, but not nearly as trendy. Elise is asking, did your Italian grandmother ever make dandelions green sauce for pasta? Don't think so. I would have to ask Papa Jem about that. Not that I can remember, Elise. I'll ask her though the next right. I'm going to write that down, and I'll ask Papa Jem, and I will return to you with an answer on that. I can't remember anything. Right, noted. See if I have to write these things down. That's very, very important. Hmm. What book is this? I missed the beginning. Patty, it is God Yule. It's the new Hannah Carlson Christmas book. I have a copy that has come from Sweden via Julia. That was she got that for me, which was real nice, and it's beautiful. It's a lovely book. Jan, replace pasta with courgettes. Yep. Thanks, guys. I do love courgettes. I like courgettes too. They're good. Patty's got a corgi sweatshirt. Oh, that's amazing as well. I want to see all these sweatshirts. Make a squirrel sticker. Do you know what's funny? I was looking for another Photoshop file the other day, and I found the sleepy squirrel that I did ages ago, and it made me think of my little dude that's been coming to the window. Yeah, maybe it's time for a squirrel. Jan, gouache, ooh. I don't have time off for Christmas aside from bank holidays, but I may be free to paint with my new gouache. Yeah. Are you and Mr. Jem going down to Papa and Mama Jem's house for Christmas? No, we're not, Elise. They are, as far as the plans go, they're still coming here. Mama Jem probably needs to get a change of scenery for a wee while, and she was saying that she would really like some Jock and Pip cuddles, because she's basically sitting looking at the same four walls all the time. So she can't drive or anything, but Papa Jem will drive, and they will come and stay here, and it means we can keep an eye on her as well, make sure she's not having any wild parties, because she's a bit like Pip, she's not supposed to be doing a lot. So we'll keep an eye on her, we'll look after her. And Jock will like stick by her side. We normally don't let the dogs on the beds, or well, we let them into the bedrooms. They're not allowed on the bed though, and they know that. But I'm going to give Mama Jem special dispensation. If Jock wants to go up with her on the bed, I'm going to allow it just this once. So we'll see how that goes. My dark red's not really doing much there. I think I might have to go for like a purpley colour. Okay, yeah, okay, we'll deal with that. April gets 2 weeks off French this Christmas. For those of you that don't know, April is learning French for work. She's on like a full time course, and she's clearly enjoying it a lot. Mary says, "Oh, that's a wonderful thing to do. Yeah, like it's beneficial for everyone, Mary. It really is. The extras delivering, driving for a local food bank. I'm really glad to hear that. That's amazing. I think it's very very important. Apparently, though, I did read up on the local food bank, because the Tesco here doesn't do it for well, it's usually is it the Trussell Trust is the big food bank network, but our local supermarket does it for the local food bank. And apparently they don't need any pasta. I was slightly insulted by that, but I was like, okay, you don't want pasta, I'll not buy pasta, that's fine. And they need a lot of canned vegetables and things, so but we always make a really good run of it. But when we go to the checkout, we always tell them straight away what it's for. Because normally, I'm sure most of you are aware, when you go into the supermarket, there's usually like a big basket or like a rack at the other side of the checkouts so that you can put things in or on as you're passing through. But obviously, you don't want to leave like 2 trolleys of food sitting there. So we always tell the cashier like when we arrive. And we always obviously we don't go self checkout for that either, and we just say to them, do you want to come and get someone to take it like away straight away, because we don't want it all sitting there. And they're usually very very good about it. um but yeah, it is very rewarding. And Papa Gem's right, like we buy each other things, and we're very much in our household that you don't buy things for the sake of buying them. You buy things that people need, or things that they really want that they wouldn't necessarily buy for themselves. And put a bit of thought into it or whatever. But Papa Jem is right. I mean, most of it is just stuff. It's not stuff that we need, unless it's the old socks and pants combo or something, which are always appreciated in this house, especially by Mr. Jem. But the majority of it we don't need, so why not spend our money on something that is needed? That's very much how I feel about it, especially for people that are, that have got kids and stuff, and you don't want people to have to worry about whether they're going to feed their kids at Christmas. Like that's not cool. Okay, that's given a very subtle result, but I'll take it. I still think I want like a purple. I wonder if I could bring in a red violet. Yeah, Yvonne's saying that she agrees with Dad. Like he's quite again Italian. He's quite kind of like fiery and passionate about it. Like he gets quite agitated. And one of the things he hates is seeing people that buy new Christmas jumpers every year or new Christmas pajamas every year. Like that enrages him. And he's like, why would you not take that money and do something with it to, do some good and actually help people that don't have like the basics for Christmas or the basics to enjoy something that resembles a good Christmas. He's very, very passionate about it. Yeah, I'm going to grab this red violet colour um, just to see if I can get a little bit more, a little bit more yum 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 in here. I was going to say that yes, people always forget about the toiletries, etc. Yeah, well, and you're not even allowed to call them that anymore. But feminine hygiene products, like that's a big one. I was looking at some of the statistics. Like we do our homework on this, and something like I think it's like 40 odd % of the people that access our local food bank are single mothers. So if they are of mothering age, you can guarantee that quite a lot of them will have a need for feminine hygiene products. So if that's something you can take off the list of like worrying about having to buy, then absolutely 100% get that in there. We always like to put in some baby items as well. I don't normally put in nappies because that can be quite a sort of like a personal choice of what works for your baby or how big your baby is or whatever. But see things like baby wipes, baby shampoo, like Johnson's baby shampoo, that kind of stuff. We always make sure we put some of that into. We did ask as well, some of the places take toys. If you buy them in the supermarket, most of our larger supermarkets have got an aisle with kids stuff in. Some of them don't take them, but the ones that have done previously, we've bought a few, like just little things to put, that maybe somebody can get a little Christmas present that they might not otherwise get. Do your supermarkets collect for others in need by themselves too? Ours put up shopping carts at the exit where you can put in donations. Well, yeah, that it's the same thing, Thea. It's usually like after the checkouts, and you can chuck in, even if you buy like an extra couple of tins of beans, you can, put them in the basket. But they go to like centralised food bank points, so the supermarkets don't give them out to people. If you see what I'm saying, it goes to an organisation and they dole it out based on who comes in or what they've got available. Well, there's a lot of shit. Patty, my mum is 94, doesn't want anything, so we're giving her garden stuff like gift cards for flowers, fairy lights, a birdhouse. Oh, that's lovely. Mary, our local supermarkets also give away their going out of date stuff to a local group and then distribute it at a donation cost. Right, okay, that's interesting. If I can make a suggestion, I think you should do the two camera view when you're filming your regular videos. Maybe. It depends what kind of state I'm in, honestly. If I'm pushed for filming, then maybe not. It's fine when I'm fresh out of the shower like this. It's lovely, but you know. My sister-in-law is having a teddy bear made wearing a shirt made out of one of my dad's shirts. Oh, that's adorable. That is adorable. With his name and signature on his paw. Oh my god, Patty, that is so adorable. I forgot to neglected to mention that I poured myself a Jack Daniels as well. It looks like a really small pint of Guinness, doesn't it? It's not Guinness, I promise. Art supplies are needed. That's one thing, honestly, I can say I definitely don't need any more of those. April legit wants socks for Christmas. I thought Thea's I thought Thea's comment was going to say I'm not allowed to have any more art supplies, but she's not allowed to Girl products are so expensive too, it's so infuriating. Well, we've finally we used to get charged tax on them and they've stopped that now finally, but they are still expensive. April says, well, Jim, well, not quite local to you, no, it's a wee bit far away. When I was a kid, we very often got through Christmas with donated Christmas hampers, so I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Jumpers in the Discord now, I've got to. Right, Minnie, I'll check that out just shortly. Patty adopts everyone an animal from the WWF or a wolf from a sanctuary zoo for a year. That's nice. We 1 year for Mum, I think that was maybe 3 years ago. We sponsored a guide dog puppy for her, which she absolutely loved because they send you through all the updates and everything, and they call them pup dates. And she really liked that as well. Zoo memberships are a great family gift. Yeah, that's something my brother was actually complaining about. I don't even know if some of you know that I've got a brother. I've got a brother, by the way. His kids, they're getting a little bit older now. Obviously we stay quite near Edinburgh, so Edinburgh Zoo is nearby. And I'd said to him, the kids love Edinburgh Zoo, and I said the next time you come up, let me know, and like I'll come and meet you, and we can have like a companion family day out. And he was complaining about the price of the zoo. The tickets are very, very expensive. So I was kind of thinking about that as well, of getting like a yearly, because they do like a family membership thing. And I was kind of thinking about that as well. It's not a terrible idea. Okay, I think I want a little bit more of this lighter colour. I don't feel like that's rich enough. Oh, there we go. That's better. See, I think I might use a wee Posca pen just to get a highlight on these. Oh yeah, that's better. Jock's snoring away again. He kind of like looked up and like squinted one eye at me when I went to take Pip out, but that was as far as he got. And he knows the weather's rank outside, so he's not bothering going outside. My mum and I are taking my second cousin clothes shopping this Christmas. She's 10 now and I don't want her to get something she hates. That's a good idea, I like it. Jan's got her Christmas socks out. She doesn't have a Christmas jumper. I had I pulled out the bag. Some of you remember a couple of years ago for Cavemas, I had like a ridiculous amount of silly Christmas hats. I pulled all them out the other day as well. I'm excited for that. Thea's got Christmas pajamas. Sometimes memberships are actually cheaper than getting everyone tickets. Yeah, well that's what I'm thinking, Katara. I'll need to look into it. I haven't actually checked. I just know the price that my brother's told me, like for the last time he went, like a one-time ticket. So I'm definitely going to look at it. If you want an alternative to guide dog sponsorship, they're also hearing dogs. Yeah, I'd look to that as well, Jan. They're super cute too. That's the thing though, like giving a gift, it doesn't need to be like an arbitrary, like smelly soap set. There's loads of good stuff that you can do for Christmas presents if you have someone like Papa Jem who's just like not into that stuff. Um, but there you go. Everyone asks me, what do you want for Christmas, Jem? I'm just like Lego. That's it. If you can't afford to buy me Lego, just buy me a voucher for Lego and everything will be fine. Everything will be good. Right, I'm going to pick out some vibrant greens now for these holly leaves. I know that holly leaves are usually a dark green, but we're going on aesthetics here, not on what's proper. Oh, flinging things away here. Flinging things away. I just can't, my joke's snoring. It's too much. He got a new bed this week as well. His normal bed is like it's one of the oval plastic ones. Pip's got one as well. And what we had in there was like the really thick outdoor yoga mats you get. They're like this thick. We cut two ovals to fit in the bottom of the bed to cushion him because his arthritis is quite bad now. And then he gets like a blanket and stuff. And over the last 2 or 3 months, you can hear him like he's trying, we call it making a den, but he's trying to like nest and he's scraping with his paws trying to move everything about. So gradually over the last few months, when we've gone to get him in the morning, everything's out the bed and there's like scraps of these yoga mats that he's dug out these claws littered all over the floor. So he's obviously struggling to get comfortable. and he's just getting to that age where he's, you know, he's old bones. So we've bought him a proper orthopedic dog bed, and he is absolutely loving it. Like that's it. Because I said to Mr. Jem, I was like, he might not like it, he might not sleep in it, because when he was a working dog, he was kennelled outside, and 9 times out of 10, Jock will choose to lie on a hard floor rather than a soft surface, and I think it's just habit. But obviously, it's not good for his old bones now. But the last 2 mornings when we've gotten up, he's been lying in the bed, and rather than getting up to come and see, he just lies there and wags his tail, like flaps his tail off the side. So I think he quite likes it. I think that was a win. I was like, sigh of relief, because it wasn't cheap. Right, okay, so let's go what I call fun greens, like this kind of like area of the greens. Um, why don't we go grass and permanent, or even light green? Let's go light green and permanent green. Why not? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, right, light green is one of the pencils that's missing. Okay, let's go grass green instead then. I'm actually gonna have to look for those pencils. I really, really don't know. Do you know what I mean? I keep kind of like looking about. I'm like, where have I sat them down? They're going to be all together. I know that for a fact. I just don't know where they are. Hmm. I've also got a couple of half pans of Julia's paint sitting out as well that have been sitting out for about a week. I really need to put them away as well. We'll worry about that later though. Okay, so let's go. Oh, these need a sharpen as well. Goodness me. I am using, I've just got my wee Gal sharpener here as normal. When I'm using the Polychromos, I always have it set to number 5, so that's the longest and thinnest point you can get with this. The cores are quite strong in these pencils, not very much chance of breakage, so that I always got it set to that. Kind of softer pencils, I would normally go 3. Sometimes with Prismacolors, especially if I've got like a particularly like crumbly core, I'll go 2. And if it's a danger zone one, you know, if it's a casualty pencil, then number 1. Jock's spoiled in the best way. That's what Mr. Jem said. He's like, you've absolutely spoiled that dog. And I'm like, he's not spoiled. I'm just looking after him as best I can because he's an old boy. He might not like some of it, but I'm trying my hardest. Yeah, Thea spoils Nero as well. No regrets. Do we have a current working dog? No, we don't have any sheep now, Elise. Mr. Jem sold all the sheep at the last farm, and when we came here, there are no sheep here. We do have a. He's actually not a shepherd. Well, he is a shepherd now. We have some sheep up on hill ground. It's a bit complicated, but there is a person that has sheepdogs that looks after them. Our dogs are nothing to do with that. So, no, we do not have a working dog. Pip, who's supposed to take over from Jock, but before she was still a puppy, like she hadn't even got going properly, and then Mr. Jem sold all the sheep, so she's now what I call an expensive ornament. But she's turned into a really good pet. But she has lots of herding behaviours, and she doesn't even know why she's doing it. The the one that's the funniest is the ride-on lawnmower. We've got a little John Deere ride-on lawnmower, and when Mr. Jem comes into the garden, he'll usually stop for a minute and I'll maybe go out and have a chat with him. So even if he turns the ignition off so it's not running, Pip will circle it repeatedly. And every time she goes round in a loop, she kind of like looks at you on the way past and then keeps going. And she's got no idea why she's doing that, but she's herding it, and it's hilarious. And that would go on for hours given the chance. It's really, really funny. But yeah, she has a lot of herding behaviours that she doesn't realise are herding behaviours, and I'm like, oh bless. No. Hello, Dominique. How are you? Sorry, please don't apologise for being late. This isn't an arranged appointment. It's drop in, drop out anytime you feel like it. I'm glad you're here though. Can we get that on video, Jem? Get what on video? Pip circling the lawnmower. Yeah, maybe into the summer when we need to cut the grass. But yeah, I'll show you a video. Oh, goodness me. Bit overexcited there. Okay, so there's little stalks down the middle. Let's get them. Yes, this is the kind of green I'm talking about. Love it. Okay, let's start working away here. It's such a fun green. I love this colour. Zoom back in again. I know we're doing a lot of zooming in and out here, but I do like to be able to show you the swatches properly when we're doing that. But I realise that you might want to see properly what I'm doing here as well. Yeah, Pip Heard and the Lawnmower. Yes, I will. When the better weather comes back round, I will make sure I do that for you. It is funny though. I say it's the way that she kind of like looks at you the way past, like on her way around. She's still walking and she's like, "We're doing it right." She just keeps going. It's funny. Oh, this is your favourite green, Katara. That's nice. I like this green. It's a fun green. These two colours go really well together. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. I don't think that's my tidiest effort ever. Come on, Jem. That's sloppy. Sloppy behaviour. And again, I want to pick a really dark green. Let's use the green that we've used in our... I nearly said tentacles there. I've only had that much. Words, Jem. And the no antenna, no. What's going on tonight? And then enemies, that's on. At least I can still say enemies. Oh, that's funny. Just right in there. Again, thinking about that obviously being, tucked in really tight behind the berries. The berries. The rubber ducky video. Yeah, I'll need to do one of those as well. I have got Jock a new rubber duck for Christmas. That's his thing, bless him. He's obsessed with rubber ducks. And Mama Jem, the last time she was here, she bought him like a little tiny one to see if he would have like a little tiny one to see if he'd have any interest in it. But it was too small. He wasn't into that. They need to be slightly bigger. But we found like giant ones, and they're quite expensive though. But I'm really tempted to get one just to see what he does with it. But we do like fill the bath for him and just like we call it skiddling. Skiddling is to like splash about, play about in water. Or if you skiddle something, you like spill it. But not full on like torrential. If you just like dribble a bit of it, you skiddle. And we do fill the bath for Jock sometimes and just let him skiddle with his ducky. He likes that a lot, and that's a thing that's only developed now that he's older, which I think is adorable personally. But that's his favourite thing. Would you guys ever get a haired guard dog like a great? No, we've no need for it. At least honestly, tentacles on the roof. Oh, Katara. Ah, our dogs now are purely for pleasure. A lot of people do herd cows with their dogs, and it's just not something like it's too dangerous. I don't like it. Sheep's fine, because they're matched quite well size wise with the dogs, but I wouldn't use a dog for herding cows because one kick to the temple and you've got a dead dog, and that's too much for me. Um, we just don't need them. I will still continue to have dogs as pets though. Mr. Jem and I have talked quite a lot. We talk quite openly about this. I wouldn't want to go back to 3 dogs. We've more or less, up until Lou died, we more or less had 3 dogs all the time, and three's just too many for me to manage on my own. When I say manage, obviously they're looked after and stuff, but I feel like because of how busy I am, I can't give each individual dog the attention that they deserve, like separately when I've got 3, without having to sacrifice something else. So normally 3 is the magic number for me, but when it comes to dogs, it's definitely 2. But we will continue to have dogs as pets. If we have more sheep, obviously we would get another working dog, but they would be a hybrid, working stroke pet dog, which is what Jock's always been. So we were talking about breeds and things, and realistically, we'll probably, once Jock is no longer with us, Pippa's going to be very lonely, because she loves having Jock around. We'll probably get another collie, but Mr. Jem is saying that he really misses having like a Jack Russell sized dog because we used to go everywhere with him, and Mr. Jem had Woo from like a tiny puppy, and she went everywhere with him. And you know, he said like having a portable dog's great because you can chuck them in the pickup and take them with you. And I said to him, I said, what you need is one of the really small collies. So they're more like Sheltie sized, but they're border collies. They're just really little ones. We call them wee keekers, and they're the ones you use for working with the lambs because they're much smaller. You know, again for portability because you can just lift them up and chuck them in and that's it. So we're kind of talking a wee bit about that, and we don't like to wish Jock away, but the reality is that he's a working dog at 12 years old. He's now got a heart murmur, um, and he's quite arthritic. You know, he's not going to be with us forever, but we would definitely get another dog. But we're very much enjoying Jock in his twilight years because he's very funny now. Like he's developed all these funny little pet habits and stuff, which is lovely to see. And he's turned into a really affectionate boy as well. Like he loves cuddles. And if we let someone in the house, he's a very shy dog, and he always like sits back, and he's always done it, and let the other dogs go first, and like wait to see what happens. And then if it's okay, he's like, right, okay, well I'll go over and you know see what's going on. But he's obviously now figured out that if we let someone over the threshold of the door of the house, then they're safe and it's okay. And if we have a gathering of people, he will actively seek out the quietest or the shyest person in the group, and he will glue himself to them. And I think he picks up on that because he's like that, and it's just like he's just turned into such a lovely pet. And I was really worried that he wasn't going to transition well into being a pet, so it's worked out really well. But yes, we're very much enjoying him for however long we've got him, however long he may have left. There we go. How nice is that? Look at like yummy rich colours, love it. When she's better, you want to get an auto vacuum cleaner for her to herd. Oh my god, no. We talked about this as well about getting a Roomba, and like we were like, it would last about 14 seconds. Both Pip and Jock love to chase the Hoover. That would be ew. A Roomba and a scuba. Pip would freak. She'd absolutely lose her mind. Thea's got a rubber ducky tea infuser thing. We've got duckbill platypuses, and you take their tummy out, like that's where you put the tea in. They're hilarious. I sent one to Julia, she really liked that. That tickled her. A chuckle my expense, says at least. I got a notification of you live and it said you were going live at 12, so I set my alarm for 7. YouTube already did the conversion time. Oh no! Oh no, so you were up and you didn't need to be. Oh, I'm sorry, Elise. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that, to be fair, I wouldn't have known that. That's actually really good to know now that you've said that. Right, okay, so let's have a wee look at this candy cane. Do we think that we need to add anything in the white bits, or do we just leave them white, guys? What do you think? All opinions are welcome, but look how nicely that pops out. What it has made me want to do though is grab my black pencil again and just pull out this area round about a bit more, like make it a bit thicker, a bit wider. So I'll start here, like maybe to there. What do we think to that? Does that look better? Yeah, because from a distance it looks better, doesn't it? Yeah, we know that. Yeah, I like that. I just feel as if it, now that we've coloured the main part, it looked a little bit lost. Mary thinks the white works as is. Katara says leave them. A wee white highlight on the berries. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, someone has just said, yeah, fade it a bit. Yeah, I'll work that out. I'm just trying to get the thickness up first, Katara, and then I will refine it slightly. I kind of just want to get it even all the way around first. Does that make sense? Oh my God, Jock, Jesus. All his little toes are going, he's twitching. That's funny. Getting this bottom bit here as well. I can feel my hand starting to tighten up now as well. It's just not behaving itself at all just now. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to show you. You know how some of you were quite enamoured with my cube, my stress ball cube thing. They brought out a new one, and it's like a teardrop shape, but it's got a holder as well, and it sticks to the holder. So it sits in this part here. I'll show you there. And this is the teardrop, and it's got glitter in it. It's a lot softer than the other one. Like the one that's the cube shaped is a bit firmer, but you can put them in the fridge. You can. I think someone's tried to put one in the freezer before. I don't know how that went. But if you leave them in colder temperatures, they go quite firm. But this one's much softer, and this is working well for me just now. And it's really satisfying. Like, see if you give it a good old, like a proper squish, like really, go for it. If you find the bottom, which is where obviously the fill hole is, see if you just put that in the little holder and leave it, it's really satisfying to watch it like go back to its original shape because it bounces back quite quickly. Never ending source of amusement, but also useful for me with my weird hand as well. Anyway. Yvonne says, will you keep the other candy canes the same, thinking of colouring homework? Uh, mm, I think, honestly, I think what we'd probably do is keep the canes the same because, oh no, that one's got a bow on it. That screws up that idea. No, I think I'll have them all different, Yvonne. This one's very similar to this one, but this one isn't. The lollipops are all different as well. Yes, I'll probably make them different colours if I'm thinking that far ahead, which I'm not really. Okay, I think I'm a bit happier with this kind of thickness. Oh, Jock. He's proper sound asleep. He's gonna be very unamused when I pack up after this. Disturbing him. I know I was saying earlier about like maybe putting some Christmas decorations on the tree or like parceling up some Christmas presents. I've just got an overwhelming urge to go and play computer games, and it's because Mr. Jem's not here. I might just do that as well. I need to speak to Mama Jem first and get something to eat. Those two things have to happen. I'm actually starting to get quite hungry though, which is good. I don't know what I'm gonna have though. You all have inspired me. I don't have any sea bass in my freezer though. My freezer's full of like mostly Christmas stuff. I do have a ridiculous number of prawns in my freezer as well, or shrimp if you're not um on this side of the pond. Got some lovely king prawns in the freezer, and I've got lots of them, but I don't know what I would do with them. I don't know if I want to stand and like cook a load of stuff tonight, especially when it's just me. Okay, so we want this to be really dark in here now. Give this a wee sharpen. That's fine, good to know. Keep an eye if you do more of this page. I shall keep you updated, Yvonne. What is my favourite game I am playing? I've just finished, well, say just finished, it was maybe like 2 weeks ago. I've just finished Planet Crafter, which I absolutely loved. I really like those kind of survival games. There's no threat element in it though. There's like no combat or anything, so the only threat is running out of oxygen. um, but it was a very good game. I very much enjoyed it. So I'm back to playing Fallout 4, and I started Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm quite far through that. But I've also got Tears of the Kingdom to finish. The last Zelda game. I kind of like jump between these things, but I'm kind of wanting to crack on with the Switch because I've only got a couple of games that I haven't finished, and the new Switch hopefully will be coming out at some point next year. So I'd quite like to finish off the games I've got on my current Switch and then retire it, basically put it in a box and add it to the collection of other consoles that I've got ready for the new one coming out. But I've got so many games just sitting there. Another game that I've been playing a lot, see, just to like chill out if we've only got half an hour, is Dorf Romantic, and I don't know if any of you have played it. It's like a tile puzzle game, um, and it's really therapeutic. That so for casual gaming, I like that, but I think I'm in the mood to like gun things down. Maybe some ghouls, which is very very accessible in Fallout. So I think I'll probably play that tonight because I'm kind of into that just now. I've got so many games. Again, for those of you that play PC games, I don't know about you, but I have got so many games in my Steam library that I've just not touched. And there's a lot of them. I really need to do something about that. Seafood, no, no for Thea. Do you like playing any of the Lego games? I've kind of tried them in passing, but they're not really my thing. Yvonne loves Zelda. Currently playing Mario and Luigi the Brothership. That looks so cute, Yvonne. And Dorf Romantic is such a cute game, isn't it, Theo? Like, I really like it. Yeah, Patty hasn't finished Tears yet either. Well, do you know, it's funny because I did the same with the first one with Breath of the Wild. I played quite a chunk of like the main quest line and then stopped playing. And then when I went back, I just basically went on like a side quest frenzy and deliberately ignored the main, like the main quest line. And I did that like that pattern again, and then eventually I was like, right, go and do the final boss battle, and then wasted so many hours of my life collecting Korok seeds. And I've said I'm not doing it in this one. I'm not collecting all of them because I've got better things to do with my life. Because after I did that in the first one, it made me not want to play Zelda ever again. So yeah, I think when I pick Zelda up, uh, I'm probably about three quarters of the way through the main quest line, so I'm going to go back and finish that and then go and do the mopping up, as I call it, do all the side quests and everything. I think that's the way that I'm going to go about it. But for now, I say I'm kind of like I'm feeling a bit of Fallout. It's been a while since I've played Fallout. I started a new playthrough of that about 6 months ago. Um, so I'm gonna crack on with that. I'm playing the DLC for that, the Nuka World DLC, which is one of the really fun ones. So I'll give that a little do. I need to find some good weapons though. Not got enough in the way of good weapons. I don't know if I want to pull that out much more in there because I don't really want to fill in this. See this white area that we've got in here? I feel like that's adding to it, that's giving us the contrast. So I don't know if I really want to make that too fat. Maybe bring it out a little bit. Maybe to there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was nearly a boo-boo there, guys. That was not supposed to happen. Zero control over my hand there. Oh, I love it when that happens. Let's pull this out a bit further. Tiny Glade is awesome too. If anyone's heard of that one, Thea, like actually, like you're reading my mind. I really want to start that. I've got it, and I've got it downloaded on my PC and on my Steam Deck. It has very limited Steam Deck functionality though, so if I want to play it, I'll have to be in the cave and sitting at my desk. And a lot of the time, if I've been at work all day, the last thing I want to do is spend more time in here. So I've actually put that off. Apparently, the devs are working on controller support, so that would make it more compatible with the Steam Deck. So I'm going to hold off on Tiny Glade, but it looks absolutely adorable. In saying that, if I've got a lot of time off over Christmas, which I do, I might start playing it. But it looks really good. Jan's go-to game for a short session is Hades, and she finds it relaxing, which may say a very sad thing about me. Sometimes you just have to go there, Jan. Like, I understand. Oh, Mary loves Tiny Glade as well. That's your telling. Oh, I really want to play it, but I want to play it like on the sofa. Breath of the Wild got me through lockdown. Yeah, well, that's if ever there was a game associated with lockdown on the Nintendo, it's definitely Zelda and Animal Crossing. I think a lot of people used that to their advantage in that dark time. Because I bought my first Switch during lockdown. I'd resisted for so long because I just had like so many consoles and so many games. I'm like, I don't need another Nintendo. And I bought my first Switch during lockdown. I'm now on my second one though because I switched it out for the OLED version when it came out. Zero regrets about that, by the way. And I mean, I've got something ridiculous. I've got about 700 hours in Breath of the Wild, and I've got over 1,600 hours in Animal Crossing. So that tells you all you need to know about what I did during lockdown. Yes, there was a lot of gaming. Okay. See, again, I kind of want to go cautiously with these. I don't want to bring this out too far. Ooh, maybe a little bit more. I can see me actually doing a bit more of this on Wednesday in the Whip Wednesday stream. Although I would like to have variety. If I start my gouache painting, I might do that on Wednesday. I'll wait and see how much time I've got tomorrow and Tuesday. I might not have much, but in saying that, as I say, Mr. Jem's not here, so that instantly gives me a bit more time. Got to take Pip for a checkup on Wednesday as well in the morning. She's got to go and get her staples looked at, make sure everything's A-okay. And say we're hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll have them out for Christmas. That would be nice. She's really struggling wearing the little jacket thing, like the little bodysuit. She doesn't like it at all, and it's restricting her. You can see by the way that she's lying down. She's not lying like in a natural sleeping position for her. She's always curled up like a cat, whereas Pip normally likes to like flat out. I call it the dead dog position, you know, on her side with her both sets of legs straight out. She can have her bodysuit off as long as she's supervised, so I'm going to take it off her for a little while tonight because I also need to bathe her silverware. So we'll do that in a wee while. So she gets a couple hours respite, but it's not much. Okay. Right, I am going to call that done there. Look how pretty that is. I think leaving the white was an excellent suggestion. I just want to grab a wee Posca. Oh, now my wee Posca's not in here because I need to go grab it. It's down here. And this one. Switch is the only games console I have, the OLED one. Yeah, see when you see the original Switch next to the OLED screen, it's phenomenal how good the OLED is. Screen's a wee bit bigger as well, but see, I have zero regrets about because I was swithering. I thought, am I just throwing money away here? And did not regret it at all. But I kind of like stuff like that, so you know. Just making sure that this pen's gonna run. This little Posca, it's the one MR, you know, it's the little tiny one. This has seen better days, and there's not much paint left in this, so we've got to coax it a little bit to get it to work. Yvonne will definitely be gamer granny. I don't think I'll ever stop playing games, to be fair. It's built into me. Mary, I read that comment there as love it. It's so cheesy. I was like, what? Cheery, not cheesy. Black Rose might actually make the whip stream since I'm still home next week. Yeah. Well, not yay that you're having to be at home because you're not well, but yay that you can come to the stream. Jan's going to have a very busy Wednesday considering she's worked from home, dentist, and a meeting about my pensions. Well, that sounds thrilling. Can't wait for that. Are you a PlayStation or Xbox fan? Both. Both, both, both. I did have a run of having a lot of Xboxes for a while, but yeah, I always end up with a PlayStation as well. And my controller of choice, if I'm playing my Steam Deck in docked mode, so if I'm playing it on the TV, the big TV in the living room, it's a PlayStation controller I use. That's like my favourite. Especially the old Xbox controllers, I found them quite kind of like chunky, and I've only got little hands, which is why I love the Switch controllers as well. Like they're perfect for people with tiny hands like me. Very comfortable. Miri's only ever been a PC gamer, so it makes things easier for me. James has a PS3 and an Xbox One. Well, see, the thing is now, like, the Xbox is kind of a moot point because you get all your, obviously, because it's Microsoft, you get them all on PC anyway, so I probably won't buy another Xbox now, to be fair. April says, no live stream for me on Wednesday, not even sneakily. Oh, boo, boo. Okay, so let's get, oh, I thought I had that working there. See, this is what I'm saying. This pen's just, it's getting a bit temperamental. I also stock these in the stash shop as well, so it's I don't really have a problem getting myself another one. The red pigment will probably soak through this. I might have to do another layer, but look, it looks so good. It's so good. Yeah, there you go, Jan. I understand you can buy new Posca pens from the Colour Cave instead of struggling with one that you have. Such a good idea, Jan. Oh, that's funny. And Black Rose hasn't used an Xbox One in ages. Katara can't wait till next Switch. And I'm kind of annoyed because I was kind of hoping it would release for my birthday, which is like early March. But I don't think we're going to see it early March. I think it's going to be at least April, if not later. Black Rose has been playing Sims 4 lately. I haven't played Sims 4 in ages. What a great idea. I love this. Elise got a handle for her Switch that I think you would love. It adds PlayStation handles to the side. Oh, that's a good idea. I do like the Switch controllers though. I don't know, for those of you that have got a Switch, right, I'm gonna change views here for this because this requires gesticulation. Anyway, beautiful. We'll maybe do a bit more of this on Wednesday. Oh dear. Yeah, so see when I'm playing on the Switch, I like to have the like when it's docked, I mean, I like to have the controllers and I sit with my arms crossed. Like, does anyone else that is just really comfortable to sit like that? Is it just me? But I really like that. It makes me happy. If you wanted to buy the next Switch but have to pay off your iPad now, yeah, tell me about it. I was like, that's the only reason I'm happy about the Switch being delayed because I bought my iPad. I'm now going to have to buy myself a new running watch as well. Uh, Jan has kindly offered me her spare one, which is a funny story. But I'm hoping mine will hold out for another like couple of months. But I'm going to have to replace that as well. So that will have to come before a Switch. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's probably better that I do replace my watch because it's probably better for my health. Mary doesn't play it, but a builder, yeah, like much more fun constructing things than it is like actually playing The Sims. No, Jem, it's just you. Mary, oh, she's trying to justify herself. Well, I do play, but not one for taking a family through generations. I just love building. Yeah, I get much more like enjoyment out of the houses than the the playing. Although it is really fun if you keep all the generations in the one house and then bury the dead ones in the backyard because the ghosts come in and everyone goes, ooh. Like, I like that, that's funny. Although, having said that, the new Life and Death EP is immense. I haven't even seen that. I would love to see that. Right, okay, guys, I am going to call it there. Again, ta-da! That's quite I like pages like this for streams because it gives you something to focus on and I feel as if I finished something. I'm really happy with the way that this has turned out and you can see that simple action of using the black pencil around the outside, it's made the white in the candy cane look really, really white, which has made it stand out. So that's a handy wee tip for you if you're ever thinking about doing what I call a bitty page like this. It's a really easy way to have like a quite an impactful bit of colouring, and I'm really pleased with that, definitely. Thea, really, they made a good add-on for The Sims 4. Oh, that's funny. Thank you for your time, Jem. You're very, very welcome, Jan. I've had a lovely time, like I really have. I'm on my own tonight, so this has been quite nice. All the other hands, yay! Other hands for Thea. Woo 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 woo. Great stream, Jem. Glad to have Colin. I'm glad you have too, Yvonne. I know Yvonne works in the retail sector, so Christmas is probably our least favourite time of year. So I'm glad you could join us today, Yvonne. And hopefully we will catch you. We do have a couple of streams. I'm going to have one on Wednesday, and we're going to have the Lego charity stream, which Thea and I were talking about earlier. It's going to be a really long stream, and that's on the Sunday before Christmas. Is that the 21st or the 22nd of December? Whichever day it is. I'm going to be streaming for hours, so even if you can just pop in and say hi, that would be lovely. And I'll be live streaming again on New Year's Day for a couple of hours as well, so hopefully see you there. Oh, look at all the other hands. I love it when we've got lots of other hands. All the other hands. Right, guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate you coming and hanging out. I say I've had a great time. Bit strange. It doesn't feel like a Sunday night because we never stream on a Sunday night. I'm like, oh, damn it, I've got to work in the morning. So I think that'll probably be the last of the Jack Daniels escapades for me this evening. And hopefully I'll see some of you in the comments section under our videos, or see you in a live stream coming up. I'm going to go and phone Mama Jem now, make sure she's okay. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, however long you've got left of it, probably more than me. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.